As long as there have been criminals around, there have been government officials thinking of ways to execute them. Some of the earlier methods used could borderline on cruel and unusual punishment. As far back as 4,000 years ago, according to Alex, in India, the method used was crushing by elephant, in which a person's head would rest on a tree stump and an elephant was brought over to step on their head, crushing their skull to pieces. Coppin says that in 554 BC, the method used in Sicily was the brazen bull. The brazen bull was a hollow brass bull with a door. They would open the door, put the person on the inside, close and seal the door, and a fire was set underneath, burning the person to death. Lin Chi, according to Alex, was used in China in the 10th century. People would be tied to a post, cut, left to bleed, until eventually a limb was cut off, and most of the time it was their head. Andreas says that flaying was used in France in the 17th century. Flaying is where their skin is cut and peeled from their body. They did everything they could to try to keep the skin intact. The first form of the death penalty used in the United States was firing squad. Some sources say it was 1806, some say 1807, but Captain George Kendall received this sentence for committing mutiny. There are two common forms currently used in the United States now. Lethal injection is the most common. Each states have different regulations on how the procedure is done. Some states have a 2-drug mixture and some states have a 3-drug mixture. But generally, in the last 24 hours before receiving the sentence, the prisoners are allowed to meet with their family members and they get their last meal. The prison does everything they can to try to meet the person's needs before giving him lethal injection. The electric chair was invented by Thomas Edison as a form of the death penalty. William Clemmer was the first person in New York, was the first person to receive the electric chair. This occurred during the War of the Currents with Edison and Westinghouse. Westinghouse thought the procedure didn't go so well, but Edison thought it went fine. William Kemmler was given the electric chair, and they realized he wasn't dead and he was still breathing, so they gave him another dose of electricity, eventually killing him. Most of the time, a person's head is covered when they receive this sentence. As long as there are criminals around, there'll be government officials who are thinking of different ways to execute them.